I'm using an art projector in order to create this gorgeous wall because I struggle with measurements and hanging things for many different reasons, mostly because I'm just really bad at it. So this is a simple, easy way to do that. In addition to the art projector, the best thing I got was these bump resistant hooks because I put them at the top so that I didn't have to guess where to put it on the wall. I used ChatGPT to figure out exactly where to put it because the two larger ones didn't have frame hooks on the back themselves. I'll get more detailed in part two, but basically I did this at night so that I would be able to see the pictures a little bit more clearly, and I made sure that I had it hooked up here. I'm using the nail to just kind of line it up. I'm using a screw that come with the bump resistant hooks that make it so easy to hang on and it does not move anyway. These smaller frames already had a hook on there, so it's easier to figure out where I did it. I didn't need to measure that, and once I got the hard ones down at nighttime, during the daytime I was able to do it a little bit better. I didn't need the light as much. I've put off this dream of mine for 10 years because picking out the pictures and frames was so overwhelming because I'm just really bad at putting up things on the wall, but I think I did a really good job, and I think it's because of the system I created. I'll talk about that in part two. I know this sounds strange, but this is totally normal for me. God told me that I needed to go onto Etsy and find wall decor galleries that are already pre-made and then use that as inspiration, and then use the art projector that I already had and project the image on the wall to make sure that it's all lined up, because my issue is that I like to do things bit by bit and it always looks disjointed, and I know deep down that I need to do it all at once, because whenever I've done that in the past, it's always come out a lot better because it's more cohesive. I know there's special people out there who have interior design skills and they follow color palette and they can do things little at a time. I cannot. I have to have the money and do it all at once. I cannot save money by doing it little at a time. However, along the way, I was able to save a lot of money and a lot of time to be able to do this. I have a back injury and this was not easy for me, and I was still able to do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. When you get a gallery wall download, they'll send you a file so you can pick which one. I actually wanted to do 20 by 30, file 3, ratio 2 to 3 here, because I wanted to have like the biggest one in the center possible, because I wanted it to feel like a museum in my house, because I just love art. I love getting lost in it. It helps me with my intuition development, to be able to connect and let loose in that and all that good stuff in my creativity center. Unfortunately, when I was using Canva to plan this all out, I noticed that the 20 by 30, the file 3, ratio 2 to 3, all of that looked like really long and skinny and stretched, and I wanted to look more uniform and more square. So I went with file 2. So the largest one was 18 by 24. I did some girl math and I figured out all the different ratios for each size and what I would need to print them by. And I also picked out some individual prints as well. The 18 by 24 in the center, 12 by 16 right above that with the cottage with the flowers, the 12 by 16 right up here with the fairy tale castle, and then that 12 by 16 ghost on the bottom left. All those were individual photos, and then I also got the gallery wall. When I saw the gallery wall, I was like, wow, this looks really uniform and elegant and upscale. I was going to do different frames because I thought that was eclectic and really cute, and actually had that before, but it always looked kind of uneven and asymmetrical in a way that didn't really fit. So I thought, why not try more symmetrical frames so that they're all uniform and they all look the same, because I love this look. I think it looks so great. We were going to paint our walls because I have construction paint for the last 10 years that have scratches all over them because construction paint is awful. So we're painting our walls white. Why not just replicate this look? It took forever and a day, but I did figure out that Craig Frames does have the sizes that I need, even though they're very unique and very difficult to find. And they also have more than one listing with those frames in there, so you can look around for the best deal. As you can see here, I only had 4 sizes I had to order, even though I ordered 10 together. Luckily for me, the 4 sizes that I had of each were both bundles with Craig Frames. I thought the frames would be the worst part and that the posters would be easy. In fact, that was even harder than I expected because nobody has all the sizes. You have to go to a bunch of different companies. Like Walgreens has a $20 print, but then you have to go to another company that charges $30 per print. I reached out to Acorn and Company on Etsy. I actually contacted them on Facebook and I messaged them, and within 24 hours they wrote me back and they gave me a discount because I was able to order in bulk. I talked about how I wanted them matte and I showed her my examples of what I wanted to look like, and she made sure to be super careful with her packaging, and she sent them all flat. They weren't rolled up, so they were perfect and ready to display. I got the bump resistant hooks because I liked that they were at the top of the frame and it would be easier to hang it up and not be off center from where I wanted it actually to be placed, because usually the hooks are in the middle of the frame and not at the top. So I needed to figure out where exactly to align it because the 2 bigger ones didn't have a frame in it already. They came with wire hangers. So I used ChatGPT to tell me exactly where I needed to put it. Years ago, I said that I wanted Jonathan and Drew to make over my house because I used to watch HGTV with my husband and it was a dream of mine. And once we got the couch, we realized it was Jonathan and Drew, and that dream came true. And of course I cried. It was also a dream of mine to have emerald velvet. I actually wanted to have emerald velvet couch, but we ended up going with a copper couch instead that I thought was going to be more orange, and it's actually more pink, but that's okay because there's a nice elegance to it and retro vibe of the 3-tiered floor lamp lamp. I think it really brings it all together. These images have been in my mind for years, and I didn't realize that they were photos. I thought they were dreams that I wanted to fulfill, like living in a castle, living in a European cottage, things like that. But little did I realize I was actually picking up on this event that was going to be happening now that I'm executing, and is literally a dream come true. I've cried so much throughout the process, but it's been so much alignment for me. I've saved so much money on all the choices that we had made along the way. Hopefully this was easy to understand. If you have any questions about this process, make sure you ask below. If you're a spiritual girly or you have PCOS, make sure you're following because I have content about that as well. And I'll see you next time.